My reaction to RWBY World of Remnant episode 15. We only have two more World of Remnant episodes left, and that'll be it. I finished RWBY Volume 4, Chapter 6, where Crow showed up to save them while fighting Tyrion, and now I'm going to watch the next World of Remnant episode before continuing. So, in the previous episode of World of Remnant, Crow talked about the faunus, a species of human that have animalistic features. At first, people used to fear them and think they were some kind of strange, I don't know, something. And so they thought of them as monsters at first and then chased them out. And whenever they came close to a city, they would just chase them out and do it. And I guess at first it's understandable because it's something with that looks like an animal but thinks and acts the same way you do. So I can understand it being a bit scary at first. But after defending a small town against some Grim, they found out that they're not so different after all. Citizen, and they were given an island called Menagerie to be their safe haven. And apparently, faunus, and also, I didn't mention this last time, but according to Crow, faunus and humans are pretty compatible with each other. If you get a wolf faunus and a wolf faunus together, then you get another baby wolf faunus. If you get a wolf faunus and a human together, then it's a human or maybe it's a wolf faunus. But if you get a wolf faunus and some other faunus together, then Crow has no idea what would happen. So faunus biology is still a bit of a mystery over there. I kind of mentioned that the last time, and I kind of like the way Crow explains things. He's very serious about it, but it's just comedic enough. And I remember when he was like, "For all you know, you may be cleaning up your son's shredded snakeskin or something," and then the way Crow did that was funny. And so the island they gave them was called Menagerie to be their safe haven. But Blake doesn't like the idea much because, according to her, the fact that the island still exists is proof that they're still not equal. As the way she sees it, as they were given an island and told to make do. She thinks they're like, over here, take this island all to yourself and stop complaining. And the island has two-thirds harsh desert with very dangerous wildlife, so only a third of the island can actually be used for making a living. And so Blake didn't like the very idea of the island itself. It's not nice that they have a place to stay safe, but she's upset by the fact that such a place is even necessary. That they can't just be out in the open just like everyone else. After all, that's what it means to be equal, isn't it? Okay, so anyway, sorry, backtracking. And also, Crow mentioned that if a lot of people who don't like the way things are going band together and get organized, that could lead to some bad things happening. And maybe that's how the White Fang came to be. We also found out that Blake's father was the first leader of the White Fang, so that's all. So maybe that's also how where it started. And we still don't know who the new leader of the White Fang is. I don't think it's Adam, but maybe. Okay, enough about that. I'm not going to get into the main show now. So that's all that happened last time, and now I'm going to watch the next World of Remnant episode. So let's see how it turns out. This is RWBY World of Remnant episode 15, Schnee Dust Company. I've actually been wanting to know about this for a while now. The episode is starting right now. Dun, dun, dun. Wow, 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 wow. It's like RWBY World of Remnant. Schnee Dust Company.
All right. What was I supposed to talk about next?
Crow.
Oh, boy. Yeah, okay.
Crow.
I've got a few words to say about this Schnee Dust Company.
Yep.
Bunch of self-entitled, monopolizing SNOBs who only care about making a profit. No matter how many little people they gotta step on to make it happen.
I love Crow.
As you all know, our survival in the world of Remnant depends almost entirely on a crystallized substance known as dust.
Dust.
It powers our cities, fuels our machines, and gives us a fighting chance against the creatures of Grim.
Yep.
Which means it's extremely valuable. Nowadays, it's almost impossible to buy dust products without the Schnee Company snowflake stamped on the box. It didn't always used to be that way.
Okay.
Nicholas Schnee was the son of a dust miner turned soldier.
Nicholas Schnee.
After the Great War, found himself at the perfect point in history to take full advantage of the world's next industrial revolution.
Okay.
The kingdom of Mantle, soon to be Atlas, was in a transformative period.
Yeah.
They found themselves on the forefront of technology, but realized they depleted nearly all of their natural resources to do so. That's where old Nick came in.
Old Nick.
Rather than watch his kingdom become dependent on the aid of others, young Nicholas Schnee decided to spend his days at combat school, his nights working alongside his father in the dwindling empty mines, and any time in between learning everything he could about anything he didn't know. That kid had a fire in his belly.
Combat
His
school.
father died, he left his son everything he had.
Oh.
It
Jacques?
wasn't much, but it was enough for Nick to set his plan into action.
Oh.
He left school,
His
rallied
father.
all the men he could afford, and set out on an expedition to find a dust deposit that could revitalize his kingdom.
Okay.
Wouldn't you know, he actually pulled it off.
Nice.
Fast forward just a few years, and the name Schnee suddenly meant something. Quality, affordability, trust. See,
But then?
all those years spent in combat school were so that Nick could personally oversee every new expedition. People appreciate a man who's willing to stick his neck out for them.
Yeah.
That's how the Schnee Dust Company earned the business of every kingdom in Remnant.
Oh.
Unfortunately, it's also what led to an early retirement.
What?
Nick had started a family that missed him, and his body was tired. Years of working in dust mines can have some nasty side effects on your health.
Oh.
So enters Jacques.
Jack.
Having married into the family, Jacques decided to take the Schnee name over his own.
Oh.
He was a lot of words I shouldn't repeat. Most of all, he was a cunning businessman.
Look at Crow.
Jacques managed to convince Nicholas that he was the perfect man to run the STC in his place. And from a certain point of view, he was right.
Huh?
Under Jacques' leadership, the Schnee Dust Company has become more profitable than ever, completely dominating the industry, but at the cost of the company's soul. Cheap labor, dangerous working conditions, doing whatever it takes to destroy the competition. Jacques Schnee doesn't care about people. He cares about winning. That, and making sure he's got the best damn PR team in the world. The Schnee name still means something today. But as for what it'll mean tomorrow,
that's another story.
well, your guess is
Weiss.
as good as mine.
Come on, Weiss. Hope he gets it done.
Hope you enjoyed that peek behind the curtain.
Oh, Crow. I love the way he just drew over there. He just drawed some stuff.
And please subscribe for more RG animation on YouTube.
Don't forget, smash that bell.
Smash that bell.
Notifications. You know.
So I want to see some of the stuff closer at the beginning.
I did.
Add again. Hate it.
Bunch of self-entitled, monopolizing SNOBs who only care about making a profit, no matter how many awards. And he's
Okay, so it first started with Weiss's grandfather. Wait, hold on a second. Nicholas Schnee.
that's where old
Sorry about that.
Nick
Nicholas
came in.
Schnee.
Rather than watch his kingdom become dependent on the aid of others, young Nicholas Schnee decided to spend his days at combat school, his nights working alongside his father in the dwindling metal mines, and any time in between learning everything he could about anything he didn't know. That kid had a fire in his belly. When his father died, he left his son at
Okay, so Nicholas Schnee didn't like the idea of being dependent on other kingdoms, so he got into combat school and then learned everything he can about dust and stuff he didn't already know. His father worked in dust mines, and then after he died, he gave Nick everything. And after some time, Nick actually managed to find a dust deposit somewhere on Mantle, and a few years later, he founded the Schnee Dust Company to transport dust to all of the kingdoms and form nice, healthy partnerships with them. Mantle was helping out, and the other kingdoms were prospering as well. It was a win-win for everybody. He gets to help out, and they all get to prosper too, and he's not dependent anymore. he was helping them out. That was fine until Jacques came along. So apparently, Royce's mother is the daughter of Nicholas Schnee. Jacques himself was not actually a born Schnee. He was a what was his name?
It's how the Schnee Dust Company earned the business of every kingdom in Remnant.
Still don't know what this big dragon on the map is.
Fortunately, it's also what led to an early retirement. Years of working in dust mines and as a master.
Okay. So because he spent so much time away from his family doing a lot of work in the dust mine, his body gave out pretty quickly and he didn't last long shortly after that. And then Jacques.
Any side effects on your health. So enters
Jacques Jude before he became Jacques Schnee.
Most importantly, he was a cunning businessman.
I like Crow just doing stuff. The face, the devil did a few other things. He married into the Schnee name and took control of the Schnee Dust Company. And then he decided to take out the competition and make sure he was just a winner. He didn't care about helping people. He just cared that he won. He wanted to be at the top and take out any competition. In Volume 3, I remember a guy called Flint who owned a dust shop on his own until Royce's father ran him out of business. So it's because of Jacques that people think very poorly about the Schnee. Nicholas actually made healthy partnerships with other people. But Jacques, on the other hand, he's the reason he's the thing the faunus think so poorly of the Schnee. Blake certainly seemed to think so at first. They use faunus for labor, and yeah.
Jacques managed to convince Nicholas the point of view he'd become more profitable than ever, completely dominating the industry.
Yeah.
At the cost of becoming whatever it takes to listen to cheap labor, dangerous working conditions, doing whatever it takes.
Oh yeah. So Blake also mentioned at first controversial labor forces. They kept using faunus for labor and they kept making the working conditions worse and worse. He didn't care about the workers or about helping people. He just cared about being at the top and taking out the competition along the way. The company did lose its soul after Jacques took over. But maybe with Weiss it may have a chance for redemption. If Weiss eventually takes over the company, like Weiss knows what Jacques is doing with the Schnee Dust Company and she doesn't like it either. Maybe one day when she takes over the company, assuming that's what her plan is, maybe she can finally turn it back into the respectable and helpful company that it used to be in the past, back when her grandfather was still in charge. I wanna, sorry, I just want to just go ahead.
Sure they can. But as for what it'll mean tomorrow, well, your guess.
Okay, yeah, so that's pretty much it. Maybe Voice will be the one to turn the Schnee Dust Company around one day. Maybe she'll take over and hopefully she'll make things better for everyone again, just like her grandfather once did. So they've shown a bit of Jacques Schnee, but not enough to show him as this hateful person. I need to see more about him to know just exactly what all bad things he's done, or I just want to see the kind of bad person he really is. Well, so in the fundraiser, they showed a couple of scenes of him gloating and stuff, but not too much of it. And what else was I going to say? I was going to say something else. Shock about that. Oh yeah. So we also never met Weiss's mother yet. Weiss's mother was actually Nicholas Schnee's daughter, and she's a blood relation to Nicholas Schnee. So I want to know her story too. They mentioned her mother that she's still around, but we never actually saw her. So I want to know what her mother is like too. I hope we see that someday. But it'll be quite a while before Weiss eventually manages to take over the company. So, oh well. Okay, that's all I have this time. It's been interesting to learn about this. It was nice to know what the company was like when Weiss's grandfather was still in charge, and how it changed when Jacques took over. Okay, only one more episode of World of Remnant left, and that'll be it. But next up, I'm going to watch Volume 4, Chapter 7 of RWBY. So let's see how that turns out. My reaction is now done.